In the necrology of St. Felix of Cantilus, there was one sentence touched my heart deeply. It says, in the 40 years when Felix lived in Rome, he begged for bread each day for the first 25 years. And later, until his death, he begged for wine and oil for his brothers. Two things I can conclude from this sentence. First, the brothers followed the Lord faithfully, and the rules made by St. Francis faithfully. They did not have a regular supply of daily bread, so they had to rely on begging. Second, although Felix himself was a very austere man, but for the sake of the brothers' weakness, he stripped off the last trace of his pride and then stood beside a rich drinking man, begging him to please leave several sips of his wine in the wine bag so that he could bring that back to his brothers. What more compassion can you find from a simple brother like Felix? Undoubtedly, he was one of the most loved and most followed friar. It was said that in the year of 1650, among the 1,100 friars in Italy, there were 277 brothers named Felix. And up to 1966, there were 217 brothers who bore the same name in Roman province. Felix lived in an era of turmoil, very much like today, when our order first was established. After our fourth Vicar General, Bernardino Ochino, apostatized in 1542, it was feared that the Capuchins might be suppressed. Nonetheless, from the words of Brother Felix himself, we come to know how, in a very difficult crisis, the Christian people thought about the life and the faith of the Capuchins. Felix said that if he had not been able to become a Capuchin, he would have preferred to remain in the world. He belongs to the first generation of Capuchins, among those who did not come from observance or form some other religious order, but from the world. His ties with the world were so strong that in the earliest inquiries of Felix's beatification, great pains are taken to describe his ordinary and daily life. He prayed day and night, his disciplines, his questing for alms, his counsels, visits to the sick within the friary and in the city, and how he made rough crosses for the devout who asked them of him. It depicts a concrete and detailed picture of a model of Capuchin life, and Brother Felix realized fully what the Constitution were prescribing. When I reflect on Felix's life, I have to question myself if I live a faithful Capuchin life and enter into the world's suffering and become the lowest. When I serve the ragged immigrant workers in the Soriano ministry, I see the ragged Christ among the poor. When I sit long hours beside the sick and dying patients in hospital, I see the suffering Christ on the bed of the patient. The one secret I would love to share with my brothers today is the special grace I received when I served my sick and naked mother when she was in ICU. Blood clots were found in her lungs and the condition was announced incurable. She is still in hospital and I have to pray for her day and night. I have worry, but joyful hope as well. Amazingly, the powerful sexual temptation subsided whenever I meditate on my sick, weakened mother on the patient bed. Chastity is not like a crushing heavy cross, but a bright and white robe uniting me with the beautiful Christ. St. Felix of Cantalus, pray for us.